The push to get as many Georgians vaccinated as soon as possible remains top priority as the state continues to see high numbers of coronavirus deaths. The death toll in the state now just short of 14,000 people. That's after the State Department of Health reported 105 new deaths yesterday. This follows Friday's record-breaking number of 184. Look at that orange line at the very far right. Yeah, that's not good. Here's the good news, though. The number of new cases and hospitalizations continues to go down. Saturday, nearly 2,800 cases reported. Georgia is one of at least 40 other states now seeing a downward trend in cases. Now, a note here, death numbers tend to lag behind case numbers by about 3 weeks. So as long as case numbers keep going down, it could be a positive sign we are headed in the right direction.